This podcast is given to you by our Loka David Smith, teacher and founder of the Dharma Mind Buddhist group. For more information, please go to dharmamind.net.
I mentioned this morning about bringing your commitment to the cushion. So, retreat by retreat, but also sit by sit, and how easy it is to fall into lethargy and the comfort zone. We are creatures of habit, without question. We are extremely conditioned beings, and doing this practice is not outside of that tendency to just create habits and then just mindlessly follow them like a mechanical thing. We do that if you're at all observant with yourself during your day and during your life. You will see how remarkably, unbelievably conditioned we are. Well, I assume you're much like me. I assume it's quite remarkable to observe it. Actually, we just follow our things that we've become familiar with, and most of the time we don't even think about them. We just live day after day, just like like something mechanical. There's no sense of newness and spontaneity with what we do, even though what we do may be things that are familiar to us, which of course most days are like that. We seldom do sort of brand new things every day. We do tend to have lives of routine, and we fall into that, and we just follow these things one after the other. But that doesn't mean to say that we have to follow them mindlessly. We can do so many things we don't really have to give any thought to, any sort of preparation or any sort of commitment to at all. We just, and this is what can make us very dull. But even though we do have a daily routine and things are familiar, and we do pretty much the same every day or most days, that doesn't mean to say that we can't bring a freshness to those things, be alive to those activities that we do, because it's very important. This is how most of us live our lives, is that we just cruise along, and life is we're not really awake to life at all. We just follow the habits that we've put in place, things that we've become familiar with, that we feel safe with, that we know are not challenging to us. As most things in our daily life are like that, and so we just follow them. We don't consider them to be important, so we give them very little attention. And that's the way that we are, and that's what we do. But when we do this training, we really ought to have a different way of our daily routine. As I say, even though things are very familiar and we don't really have to give them a lot of thought, but that doesn't stop us being present with them, to whatever just the mundane, just having your breakfast, getting up in the morning, having your breakfast, driving the car to work, or however we go, and walking down the road and stuff. That requires no sort of preparation from us, really. But that, rather than just be some mindless thing, this is conditioning, where we teach the body something. We have to learn things. You have to learn everything. You learn how to do something, and then you forget about it, and the body will just do it on its own. It doesn't need you most of the time. In fact, it's a good job it doesn't, because most of the time we're not present. And suddenly we find ourselves at the end of a task, whatever it may be, and you've not been there, and yet you've achieved it, you pulled it off, and everything is fine, and yet you've just not been present at all. That's the way we become. And so we become, this is called conditioning. We get conditioned. And it's fine to teach the body something. It has to know that. It has to learn how to drive a car. You don't have to think about every movement you make when you're in a car. It just does it itself, even though you're miles away. It just magically gets you to your destination. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't be present when you're driving the car. You don't have to be spaced out and off with the fairies. And this is why life is unsatisfactory to us, the way life is incomplete. That we feel life is dull and boring. Well, of course it's dull and boring, because you're not living life. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't. That doesn't mean to say that you can't just have your normal everyday routine, which you're totally familiar with and you're probably completely fed up with, and rather do something else. That doesn't mean to say that you can't engage with each and everything that you do with a newness and a freshness that you didn't have yesterday and in the past. And every time you come to do something, you can be really alive and really present with it, even though you know exactly it doesn't require anything from you, because you've learned all the things that you need to learn in order to perform the function. But that doesn't mean to say that you have to go off with the fairies. This is why life is... We're always looking for stimulus and something just to... But in fact, if we are with ourselves and we are with our everyday routine that we are totally familiar with, something you do every day, day after week, month in, month out, year in, year out, actually you can feel totally complete. You don't have to go looking for some stimulation, something new to stimulate you, to freshen you up. You don't have to do that. You do that because you're not present, and you do need to rejuvenate yourself. But that's down to you. Don't blame your daily routine and your everyday things that you do. So I'm bored with this. I'm bored with that. Can't you? And all of it, which we all do. And life is slipping by, and I really need to find something that's going to interest me, stimulate me, get me interested, engaged, and all of these things. But don't blame your daily routine and the things, because life is like that. Life is nothing but routine, isn't it? We can't function. We need to learn things and perform them every day in order just to live and support ourselves and support those around us, and just so everything functions in the world. I mean, everyone is in that mode, with very few exceptions, and usually the ones that step outside of that are usually very empty and very boring people. Actually, they're always looking for something, but not grounded and not with themselves and not with what they do. And you find this, for those of you, as an example, for those of you who may have travelled in your life, been travelling around, and a lot of us do it, and we all sort of drop out or whatever for months or maybe a year or two. A lot of us have done that. It's a great thing to do, but you meet people on the road who've been doing it for decades, and they get some income somewhere, and they're just on the go all the time. They just can't they can't be with themselves. They can't be with just a routine. And if you ever get to meet these people and talk to them, you find them incredibly empty people. They've got nothing inside them. They've never stayed with anything. They've never had to just be with stuff and get on with the realities of existence. Just as an example. But we need, a lot of us sort of admire that and think, well, that'd be a great thing to do, but it isn't actually. actually. It's a very shallow, very, very shallow thing to do. But actually, you can get a great deal of fulfillment out of just your routine, out of just your everyday, and just try to get some sense of what actually is going on. You know, it's just get some sense of the miracle of your everyday mundane existence. And if you can just begin to get a taste of that, just some sense. You can't get bored with it, because what's going on is just so amazing. It's so unbelievable what's going on. But we don't appreciate it. Passes us by. We don't give ourselves. We don't want to be present with the everyday and the mundane. We get bored with it. But if you really knew what you were doing moment by moment, by golly, you could never get bored with it. Even though you do it every day and you do it 20 times a day, whatever it may be. Making a cup of tea, which you do several times a day, don't even think about it. But if you actually really knew what was going on there, what you were performing, not somebody doing it for you, what you were truly engaged with, and what you were actually, just that living experience, you couldn't possibly get bored with it. You will be completely fulfilled, completely and utterly fulfilled. You will never wish to go and run off and do other things, but just to continue with what you're doing. That's truly being present. That's truly living. And being totally fulfilled without needing stimulus all the time. And of course we blame everything around us. We blame the job, we blame the people, we blame our circumstances. It's always out there, it's always projected. If only this, if only that. It's just rubbish, actually. And it's for us people to wake up to that. This is what we do. And then life slips by and you feel unfulfilled. And you get older and older. And then you start lying about your age. And the reason why you lie about your age is because you're not fulfilled. And life is slipping by and you say, oh my God, I'm 40, I'm 15, look at me, I still haven't done anything with my life. Well, what are you meant to do with your life? What is it you're meant to do? Have you got to be on TV every day or something and be a star so everyone looks at you and admires you? Or you have to be this or that? I don't know. Or why? And so this is why life isn't satisfactory. Like I say, you then want to conceal. God, I'm 15, I've done nothing, and I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I'm going nowhere. I'm getting old, I'm going to die any time. And then you try to hide yourself. It always makes me laugh, actually. I mean, you can't help being 50 or 60 or 70 or 20. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with you, whether you're fulfilled or not, and yet so many of us... I mean, it's a very interesting observation, actually. Why you should feel somehow almost ashamed for being who you are. We need to look at that. In the world, we're just encouraged to run after things all the time, and somehow, when we get this and when we get that, that's going to do it for us. We're going to feel okay with ourselves, And of course, the inevitable happens when, assuming you get what you're after anyway, that will last 5 minutes, and then you want something else. So you go. But we shouldn't be falling into that trap, getting on that treadmill, and just keep running until you keep looking at your watch and looking at the calendar and think, Christ, I'm going to be dead soon. We shouldn't be going down that road at all. At all. We should just try to be alive and be wholehearted and really experience whatever it is that's in front of us. and see that everything is amazing. Every little thing you do is utterly, utterly amazing. It isn't mundane and stupid. And the only way we can do that is by truly coming back into ourselves, coming this way, not going that way, but coming this way, and getting to the source, getting to the very basis of life, of the experience of life, and discover that you don't need all this stuff in your life in order to be happy, to be fulfilled. You don't need to keep stimulating yourself. You don't need to do that at all. And if you can reach a point where you're not doing that, or you dampen it down, God, life is so easy and so uncomplicated, and so you're not chasing all the time and all the tension and stuff that brings to you, because you know you're always running all the time, trying to grab something that you never actually ever really managed to grab. And all the angst and all the dukkha that we bring to ourselves, and none of that's necessary. Don't blame people. Don't blame anyone. Don't blame your mother and your father and your wife and your boss and the Prime Minister and who else. Always the blame game all the time. We don't need to do any of that. We don't need to go, and we shouldn't be going down that road. We should be turning away from that and let all the rest of the people do that if that's what they want to do, if they can't figure it out, can't figure another way of doing things. That's the way the world is. But if you can learn to just turn around and look in and just get to the bottom of these things, stop looking out there for answers all the time. Look for the answers within yourself. Get to the bottom of it. And see that this is how life is. You know, life is full of boring things, if you like, just full of routine. That's the way most of us exist. In fact, it's almost not possible to exist any other way, not in any sort of fulfilling way. You're just running all the time, trying to look for new stimulation on a daily basis. It's just rubbish. You just have to stay with things and find your fulfillment with the mundane, with the everyday, and ask yourself, why am I not fulfilled with just getting up in the morning and looking out the window and just being alive? You know, just take it for granted that, you know, you don't even think about it. Well, it's very precious, you know. You don't realise it, especially us humans, that because we have the ability to reflect and to know and to appreciate and to know what we're living in and what we're actually living in, and we're a part of that. We're not an observer. We're not watching a film. We are completely integrated. We're completely at one with it. We are it. This amazing offering that's there for us. And if you can just begin to get some taste of that, then it doesn't matter what you do. It really doesn't matter. And you're not going anywhere. And there's nothing to achieve. It's already here, whole and complete. And we need to find that. We need to find that source. We need to get back to that place, which we all live out of. We never leave it for a moment. We can't live with it. Well, we are it. So we can't live without it. We are it. That's who we really are. And we need to look into ourselves, and we need to look at ourselves and look at this, just look at our daily life, you know. Just look at it, observe it, and see your relationship with it, and how much you're prepared to open and embrace whatever it is that you're doing. We can all embrace new things and things that stimulate us and excite us. I mean, that's easy. But can you still have that same experience with making a cup of tea or cleaning your front room, cleaning your bathroom? All of these things that most of us don't want to do. But can you not find something there that if you can actually begin to just touch what actually you're doing and actually realise what's going on, if you can just do that, you won't want to go running off looking for, spend your life running around looking for things, and all the tension and complications that we create for ourselves continually. So we need to look, we need to turn around and look and get to the bottom and look at that part of ourselves that doesn't want to have this experience of life, that doesn't want to be with just what is in front of us. That's always making life so unbelievably complicated. It's always taking us away from what's in front of us, just continually creating these pictures, these fantasies, these desires of this goal-orientated stuff all the time. There's always wanting to be anywhere but here. It doesn't want to be. In fact, it can't be here, because when you're here, there isn't anything here. But we create these thoughts and fantasies, and we spend our lives thinking about them and chasing them, and all the time we don't know the things that we're doing in the here and now. So we just rely on the mechanical thing that we've created. We just assume that just let that carry on and do all the mundane things while we live in a fantasy world. Create this world that will never fulfill you. I don't care what your thoughts, your fantasies are, and even if you do manage to experience some of the things that you think about, they'll go into change. They'll go into change, and then there'll be others. Always assuming you even get them in the first place. And while you're doing that, you don't know where your feet are, and yet your feet are is where your fulfillment is. And your fulfillment is very, very simple. It's in the everyday. It's in the mundane. It's nothing special whatsoever. Absolutely nothing special. And you can touch that. You won't want anything other than feed yourself, clothe yourself, all the basics. Of course, you need to do that, but you don't. That's okay. And that's where we're going. And we need to wake up, and we need to look at ourselves, and just refresh us, as I was saying earlier, to renew ourselves. Okay, I've done this. I meditate every day. I don't know how many times I've meditated in my life, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of times, and that becomes a routine. It becomes a habit. In the same way as the things in your life become a habit and a routine. And how often do you just go through the motions? You come here, or you're at home and you go through the motions. And somehow, a lot of the time, it's about just getting to the other end, enduring, and then you can go home and stuff. Got to get out of that, because your fulfillment, your release, your liberation is here now, here, right here. It is not in your fantasy world and all the stuff that you create and get lost in. It's in your everyday mundane life. Look at it. Just realise what's going on there. Just begin to touch the miracle. I'm going to say miracle because we don't know. None of us know where it all comes from. This is a mystery that you will never get to the bottom of, and you'll never own it. You'll never possess it. What you do is you learn to live it. You learn to open to it and wake up to it, because it's happening at every moment. It never leaves you. It never leaves you. Your fantasy come and go, but life is there all the time. It's permanent. Whatever mood you're in, whatever thing you're doing, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. It's here. It's permanent. And that's what you need to see and to know and awaken to. And when you do, then you see everything is fulfilled, and you don't mind. Who knows how old you are? In fact, you may even have some pride Not that we do pride, of course, but you know what I mean. You feel, so what? Well, exactly, so what? But that freshness, this is a virya, this is it's commitment. But see the subtlety of commitment. It's just a willingness to be with yourself, with whatever you're doing, whether you're driving the car, whether you're sweeping the floor, cleaning the toilet, having a cup, all these things that we're all familiar with, and all the things that we do, whether we like it or not, in order to function. These are all part of our daily routine. Just be with those things. Just be with them, and just truly experience what you're doing. See it. And in order to truly experience whatever it may be, you can't be lost in your fantasy. You can't be lost in your conditioning and your fantasy world. You'll miss it. You completely bypass it. You're completely distracted and completely seduced by something which is completely unreal, totally unreal. And what is real? Where you really are, and where you are truly free and truly liberated, beyond even birth and death, where you truly are, you don't see it. You just somehow you've got to turn that round and look at the mundane, see the root. Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't stimulate you, so you go off. But we need to just keep coming back to that everyday experience, and to be with it as much as you can. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to analyse it. You don't have to start putting it in boxes. It's not a case of being good and bad. I like this. I don't like that. I want this. I want that. See, that's all part of your fantasy world. You create like and dislike. Nothing real about like and dislike. You think it's real, and that's what you chase. But where you really are there's no opinions actually. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong, or anything. It's not dualistic. It's not cut up. We cut it up. We like this. We don't like that. I want this. I don't want that. We cut everything up, and then we chase and reject, and we turn our back and stuff. This is, and all of that's your fantasy. You need just to be. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. You don't have to get involved with it. Observe it, see it, know it, and just taste the ice cream. That's all. It's not liking and disliking. Just there. Come back to that over and over. When you walk down the street, you know you're walking down the street. That's all. I mean, how mundane is that? We all do it. We're all going to do it at lunchtime. Most of us will go out and walk down the road, and not probably give it a moment. We'll be off thinking about other things. But there you are. There's your liberation. It's there. It's waiting for you. It's there. It's just beckoning all the time. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Just be. Just be. But that just being, it does. You have to willingly come to that place. You can't be passive about this. You're passive. You'll fall into your habits. You'll fall into your comfort zone, into the mundane, into whatever whatever your habits may be. It takes commitment. So when you're going off with the fairies, you say, "No, I'm just sitting here. I'm sitting here, and I can feel my body on the chair, my feet on the floor, and I just got a sense of the atmosphere around me, and just the delight." That's all. I mean, you can't get any more mundane than that. And yet there, in that very spot, is your freedom. is where you become free, is where you let go of all the things that you hold on to, all the angst, all the stuff that the burden of life that we carry is not in this moment. It doesn't exist in this moment. It only exists when you erect it, or when you revive it, when you bring it up and you make it, then you hold on to it, you chase it, you grab it, and it becomes. And then, but you truly stay here. There is no past and future. You don't have an age. You're never 30, 40, 50, 60. None of that exists. But that's not gonna happen passively. It means you have to have commitment. It means you have to have the willingness to come to the mundane. Even though, oh God, this is boring. Well, okay, so it's boring, but nevertheless, have that energy, that the virya that's so important. If you don't have virya, you're not going to do this. You'll just be taken off with the stream. As the Buddha said, this is like swimming against the current when you take this training on, and it is swimming against the current, and you can't be passive. You can't swim against the current and be passive at the same time. There has to be a willingness to engage, to bring to just be, because that engagement, that commitment, is just to be. It isn't to turn yourself into I'm committed, and I'm going to fight and push and shove. That's willfulness. We don't do willfulness. You've got to find the difference here. But just to be takes commitment, because the moment you relax, you're off in you lose the moment. You're off in your thoughts. But there's a part of you that's not a part of your thoughts. Your awareness, that part of you that's alive and ever present, that you learn to bring into your life more and more and more and more, and that's what we cultivate on the cushion. We don't create anything on the cushion. We just slowly become more aware, or awareness becomes aware of itself. There's no duality here. It becomes more aware of itself, and when it does that, it can see and it can observe, and it can put a space between the habits that you always get carried away by, that you lose. It can be that part of you there that is present. That is the present. And if you have that present, then you are present. And the more present you are, the more you can stay present. And that's what we learn. But that presence is here all the time. You're not making anything. You just, if you like, you're polishing. You're becoming alive. Aliveness is becoming alive to itself, and it's seeing more, and it can see where fulfillment is to be achieved. Is to just to be. When you make a cup of tea, make a cup of tea. It's not good, it's not bad. You just follow something that you've taught yourself to do. The body knows how to do it. You have all the information that you need. You've learned all the information on how to do these things in your life. Allow them just to function, but be alive to when it's. And if you're alive, then you don't need anything else. You won't want anything else in your life. You won't want it. It will fill your life. You will be full. And you won't have this longing for this and for that. But none of this is possible without your willingness to wake up and to be with the familiar, the everyday, the mundane, like I say, and not fall into that trap of just seeing it as a routine, like coming here, sitting at home or sitting here. just take it as a routine, something that you've done in the past, and you've got that experience and that history, and you're going to come along and you're just going to go through the whole thing again. Every moment, every sit is new and fresh, clean. It's never happened before, and it will never happen again. So in fact, you've never been anywhere. You don't have that. You're just putting stuff over the top. You're layering stuff over the top of what's clean and fresh and new, unique. But somehow you've made it stale. You made it, I know what this is about, and you're not actually experiencing what's there at all. You're just falling into a memory of other experiences. You're not experiencing what is in front of you, what you're doing. And so we live in this dream world. You create the dream and you live in the dream. We need to break through that. We need to break through it, because and knowingly and willingly break through it. Because if you don't, you'll never be free. You'll never break out of it, and you just go on and on and on forever, just reinforcing and never experiencing just this. So just, encourage yourself to look at your life with different eyes, with fresh eyes, with a new perspective. See that, when you go home, tomorrow morning, most of us will be getting up for work. The clock will go off, the alarm will go off, and you sit and da-di-da-di-da. Try to bring a freshness to that. Try to see, well, here's an opportunity now for me to wake up, for me to break out of my samsara, for me to be free, to be happy, to be liberated. Now, in my not all that retreat I'm going on in 2 weeks' time. No, now. That's nonsense. Now. Here's your opportunity, and the opportunity is with you every second of your life, and it never ever leaves you. There's a doorway there waiting, and a door that's not shut, a door that's open. Every single second of your life, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter how you're feeling, whatever the situation may be, whether it's wholesome or unwholesome, good, bad, skillful, unskillful, everything, all of these things, all of these designations, it doesn't matter. Every single moment, it's there. That door is beckoning you, is allowing you to lean on it, to open and to lean on it, and see what's beyond it, to break beyond the dream world that we all live in. So don't look for special things. I'm on retreat, that's a special time. Every moment, it's there. And if you can just take the opportunity with everything you do, it has can have a huge effect on your life. That you're not always out looking, what am I doing tonight? What am I doing tomorrow? What am I doing the weekend? Just ignoring the days and the routine and the habits that you've got. And this is for us to wake up to and see. This is our opportunity. But it needs that commitment. Don't fall into that trap. It needs that commitment on everything that you do. So everything, it truly is, everything is new. Even though you've done these things 1,000 times, it's fresh and it's new, it's alive. And the same with your meditation, period after period. Never mind what happened in the past, what happened in the last sit and stuff. Here now is an opportunity to just to find that place within you which is there permanently, that's free of all of this, free of your world, free of everything. It's there. You're living out of it. You are it. You're nothing else. You've never once ever, for one moment, ever wandered away from it. You are it. Realize it. Bring it as much as you can into whatever it is, into the mundane, into the everyday, and the more you see that, the clarity that you have with that, the more you can just let go of all of the stuff that you carry, and so you're just content doing nothing. That's where we're going with this. But it takes commitment, and you need to just watch yourself and see that you will fall into your habits, you will fall into the mechanical. We are unbelievably somehow we like to think that, we're like really special and unique. Well, we are actually, but probably not in the way that we imagine, because actually almost everything that we experience that goes through our minds and stuff, it's all conditioning. It's quite remarkable if you can watch it, and how we become so totally embedded with these things, and we just follow these things, and we do these things, and we don't even think about it. We don't challenge these things. But hopefully the more you wake up, the more you begin to see it, you do challenge them. Because I know when I look at my stuff, I just cannot believe, it's just like I'm a dead thing. Just this dead thing walking along and doing this and doing that. And I like to think, look, I'm this and I'm that. But it's quite stunning the way it deceives us. It absolutely deceives us. But it's not you. This is not the real you at all. This isn't a person at all, actually. But somehow you identify with it. So you end up like a dead thing. And live like a dead thing. But there's something beyond that that's absolutely clean and fresh, is never polluted, is ever new. That's the bit you want to touch. You find that bit there. Then you're free. You get rid of all of this. But it's not going to give to you on a plate. Nothing's given to you on a plate. What's given to you on a plate is your conditioning. You don't have to. You've got more than enough to last you the rest of your life. You don't have to go around looking for any more. It's there, and it's got us. It's embedded within us, and you can just cruise along with it now until you pop your clogs. That'll see you through quite happily. Well. But if you wanna see the part of you that's not a part of that's the real you, then you've got to be prepared to engage with it, because that dead bit will take you and will never let you go, and will always be coming to grab you. But that bit that you can discover, especially on the cushion, that bit that's alive, your awareness, that bit that sees and knows, that becomes ever clearer, that bit, that's your freedom. That bit's free, that bit is unconditioned, that bit is never ever touched and will never ever be touched by any conditioning, by any habits whatsoever. It is new, it's fresh, it's in the moment, it's got no past, it's got no future, it is totally alive, and it embraces the whole universe. When you really get to see its true nature, what it really is. It's there. This is what we need to work towards, and let go of these things that don't want to let us go. And it's coming to that part of you that's alive and that's fresh. That's the antidote. That's the bit. That's the medicine. That's the bit that's going to eject this conditioning, so that you forevermore come into just being here, drinking the tea, sweeping the floor, be completely fulfilled, and see the wonder of life that's completely and utterly passed you by. And yet, not for a moment do you ever leave it. Have you ever not been a part of that wonderment? This is what we wake up to. But it's the virya, it's the commitment, it's that willingness to just, if you can see it in these terms, how simple do you want it? It's here in front, it's given to you all the time. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to create any conditions. We do in a sense when we're on the cushion, when we're in this sort of environment, we are creating the ideal environment. Some environments are more ideal than others, of course. When you're still and you're quiet, of course you're gonna find that part of you that is ever present. All the distractions we've turned away from, we've put to one side for the duration. Of course you're gonna be able to access that part of you. But nevertheless, it's there in all situations. But when we create circumstances like this, conditions like this, make maximum use, make real use, because you're not going to get them when you leave here. You're going to find it far more difficult. But so make maximum use here, and don't think it's. I don't know what you think about your practice and how you sort of construct it in your minds, or what you think it should be, and it's very difficult. You've got to suss it for yourself, because when you suss it, you've got no parallel. This is not a part of your conditioned world. You won't be able to draw parallels with anything in your life, and so it's unknown to you. It's unknown, and you sort of come bumbling into it, but little by little, hopefully the penny begins to drop, that actually you don't have to sort of create anything special with this. You don't have to do anything special, like you do with everything else that you do in your life. You have to put all the conditions in place in order to get something. And you think that's what you have to do with this, but it's not like that. It's not like that. Then you have to slowly sort of pick it, get it, understand it. The penny's got to drop little by little. In fact, there isn't anything to do. It's already here. You haven't got to construct anything, make anything. You haven't got to be particularly smart, and you haven't got to work anything out, conceptualize stuff and work things out with your head. You don't have to do anything like that. It's on offer. It's on offer to us every moment. Everything that we do is there. It's there. It's almost screaming at you. Look, wake up, will you? I'm here. I'm here. There isn't anything for you to do. Just be still. Be still. Look. Be still. Don't get out there. Come in here. Be still, and just see that everything you need for your liberation, you've got it now. It's here now. You're not making something that's going to take you 5 years or 10 years before you then. It's nothing like that. It's unique. You won't find this in the world with anything. But you just need to bring that commitment, bring that when you're getting carried by your habits, just and turn your back on what you think is not important, that this is mundane, that I'm not going to be liberated sweeping the floor, cleaning the bathroom. Well, you are, because it's there. Your awakening is there, your enlightenment is there. And so everything becomes special, everything becomes the opportunity to wake up, to see and to know. You don't have, it's there, it's already given to you. You don't have to make anything, create anything, put anything together. It's there. Whatever you're doing in your daily life, in your mundane, everyday life, that you think you don't even think about because it's so mundane and it's so boring and so rubbish, and so you couldn't be more wrong. Everything is so special, and it's there, and there's nothing else to do. Just in that everyday mundane that you turn your back on, that you find very boring. It's so familiar to you that you don't even give it a moment's thought. It just happens. It happens on its own. And for us, right there's your liberation. If you're in the world, you run away from it. You don't want to know it. You want to go running after other things. That's what you do. That's how everything works. But for us, we've got it. It's here. It's in the mundane. It's in the boring. It's in the stuff that you're not slightest bit interested in. And if it were to disappear, you'd be very happy for it to go there. And you need to remind yourself and bring yourself to that, because your conditioning will take you away from it. Oh, this is much better. This is much more profound. Let's do this. You have to remind yourself and just bring yourself to your everyday, to the mundane. There's the Buddha. There's your awakening. But it's also your commitment, and that's what you need to keep reminding yourself over and over. So you've got everything you need. You've got everything you need for your liberation, for your happiness. Everything you've got it now, this moment. I don't care how long you've been doing this practice. You've got everything. You need nothing more. Look into your life. Look to your life. Look at to your everyday existence. There it is. There. It's not on your cushion when you sit in the morning before you go to work, or the retreat you're going to next week, and you're just sort of jumping from one to the next. Right there, the bit in the middle. There, that's where it is. But we need to keep reminding ourselves over and over and over and over and over. You can never remind yourself too many times. Just come to where your feet are now. So that everything in your life has a meaning. There are no good bits and grey bits and dark. I always knew when I came to this training, how I just used to think upon most of my life as a complete waste of time. Some bits were okay, but I could quite easily cut most of it off and just chuck it in the dustbin. This bit's all right. I don't need that. So you cut yourself in half. You completely fracture yourself. And then when I took the training on, I realised actually quite soon actually. Everything is so meaningful. Every moment of my life has a meaning. It isn't meaningless anymore. It isn't something to chuck into the dustbin. Even though it can still be rubbish in a worldly sense, and it doesn't necessarily make me happy or anything like that, or fulfill me in any way. Of course, you just carry on and you are what you are and the habits that you've got. But suddenly everything you see has got meaning. You don't turn your back on anything, but you actually look at everything. Every moment of your life becomes meaningful. I discovered that actually quite early on, and suddenly, that made such a difference to me, because I wasn't, like I say, chucked this lot away. Suddenly, from a practice point of view, everything was meaningful. Everything was, the Dharma was there in everything that I was doing. And there was an opportunity there in everything I was doing to get to know myself. Unlike before, when you're turning your back on yourself most of the time, not wanting to see what's there. Now, even though you don't like what you see, But you've got the opportunity now to just observe yourself and get to know yourself in the round. So every moment of your life is totally meaningful. And that's the way you should see life. That even though in a worldly sense a lot of it is mundane, is, rubbish. But from a practice point of view and a dharmic point of view, every moment is... one moment is no more important than another. They are all of equal importance, irrespective of the situation. So the whole of your life, every moment of your life, if you want to do this training, has complete meaning, and every moment in your life is a doorway, inviting you to pass through, to see and to know, and to be liberated, whatever the circumstance may be, whatever the situation. And if you can see yourself in those terms, life becomes a lot fuller, becomes more meaningful. You don't feel unfulfilled. You feel fulfilled because everything has got meaning. Every moment, you don't cut yourself up into bits of liking good and bad, right and wrong. Everything is meaningful. And that in itself will bring you a fulfillment, because that's what fulfillment means. Fulfillment means is to be fulfilled with everything, with every moment of your life, not certain parts of it. And then all this other stuff is just rubbish. You'll never be fulfilled. Life will always be unsatisfactory. It's when you see the fulfillment in every moment. And that's what the Dharma will give you. The world won't give you that. But the Dharma will. But you have to turn yourself towards it and open to it and wake up to it, because we are so conditioned to being like zombies, to be like mechanical things. We've got to go beyond the mechanical stuff. Be alive to be every moment, see every moment as an opportunity to see yourself with ever more clarity. But that's the commitment, that's the virya, that's what you need to bring to yourself. And if you don't bring that to yourself, you'll fall into your comfort zone, you fall into your habits, you become a dead thing again. Don't look for special things, don't look for special circumstances. You have the opportunity every single moment. It's there in equal measure. In equal measure. Don't picking. The Dharma doesn't pick and choose. Everything's in equal measure. You pick and choose. You give value. Everything is there. Whatever your circumstance, whatever your situation, is there. You have the opportunity to break the habits, to break away from the dream world that we lose ourselves in. So be careful of the routine, be careful of the habits, be careful of the comfort zone, be alive and to be awake, and bring that newness with everything that you do. You can't do more than that.